video, we will discuss about the functions of carbohydrates and metabolic pathways. We all know that the carbohydrates are the main source of energy because they act as the fuel to our body. 1 gram of carbohydrate will provide you 4 kilocalories of energy. So, this energy is given in the form of the glucose. The carbohydrates are broken down into the smaller units called as the glucose. This glucose is acting as a fuel to our body. This glucose is used in the different type of cellular activities that are happening in our body, and these carbohydrates are stored in the form of excess energy. Okay, so if we see the human body containing the glycogen as a stored form of carbohydrates. In the liver and in the muscles, we have this glycogen as a stored carbohydrate. It is used for the energy whenever the body don't have the good amount of energy. In the plants also we find the carbohydrates. The carbohydrate is in the form of the starch. Okay, this starch is serving as an energy for the plants. Protein sparing action. So the carbohydrates are helpful for protecting the proteins which are present in our body. We all know that the muscles containing the proteins, the tissues are made up of the proteins. When the body do not have the good amount of glucose, when the human body do not have energy, or if a person is fasting, then they do not take any food. That means the glucose is less or it is not present in the body. At that time, when there is no glucose or glycogen, the proteins are broken down for the purpose of energy. So if we take good amount of carbohydrates, the proteins are not at all broken down and the tissues can have the good protein. Okay, so this is the carbohydrate which is protecting the protein from the broken down of the proteins. Type of the carbohydrate which is helpful for oxidation of the fats. Whenever the fats are oxidized, they produce ketone bodies. Generally, the carbohydrates are first oxidized to produce the glucose. If there is no carbohydrate, then the fats are oxidized and the ketone bodies are produced more in our body. These ketone bodies can create the imbalances. Because of that, our body may suffer metabolical destruction or disturbances. So to prevent the ketone bodies, the body produce the carbohydrates. Glycoprotein and glycolipids. The carbohydrates are bonded with the lipids in the form of glycolipids. The carbohydrates are bonded with the proteins in the form of glycoproteins. Here we have the lipids and glucose, the proteins and glucose. So this glucose is a carbohydrate. It is present in our body as a form of conjugated protein or conjugated lipids. This is helpful for cell recognition and cell signaling. It is a main compound of the cell membrane. Our cell membrane is made up of the phospholipids. Detoxification. So the carbohydrates are helpful for the detoxification of our body. Our body contains different type of acids. So one of the carbohydrate called as gluconeogic acid, it is present in the liver. It is helpful for detoxification of the body. That means the waste products are removed out of the body in the form of water. Okay, in the form of urine. Next, cell communication. The carbohydrate molecules are helpful for the cell communication. The cell containing the receptors which is present on the cell membrane. These receptors are made up of the carbohydrates only. Okay, so these carbohydrates are helpful for the hormones and enzymes recognition. Okay, this glucose is also helps as an energy source for the functioning of hormones and enzymes. And next, nucleic acid compound. The DNA containing the deoxyribose sugar and RNA containing the ribose sugar. So the sugar units are present in the structure of the genetic material. So this is the main function of the carbohydrates. Next is structural integrity. So the carbohydrates are providing the structural integrity. That means this will form the structure of the plant cell. Like cellulose, the cellulose containing the carbohydrate. This carbohydrate is helpful for the plant cell structure maintenance. And different type of insects and crustaceans, like we have the prawns, they contain the chitin or the chitin as an exoskeleton. This exoskeleton is the hard part which protects the animal from the damage. So this is also made up of the carbohydrate only. And nucleic acid compounds, same point repeated. The DNA RNA consists of the carbon sugar units, 5 carbon sugar units. This important point, it comes in the exam. The 5 carbon sugar units are present in the genetic material like DNA and RNA. The sugars are ribose and deoxyribose sugars. So the carbohydrates is also helpful for the fiber, because our body need the metabolical balances, right? The bowel movements are done in the large intestine to remove the waste material. The fiber is important for preventing the constipation. Okay, so the carbohydrates in the form of the non-digestible fibers, these are helpful for the bowel movements. Okay, and next it is also helpful for the supporting of the gut health. So in the gut we have the different type of microbiomes, the microbacteria, different type of helpful bacteria and different type of microorganisms present in our gut. It is grown with the help of the fiber only. This fiber is broken down with the gut bacteria. It promotes our immunity also. The carbohydrate metabolical pathways, these metabolical pathways are helpful for studying. You don't need to go in depth, because in the CPGET or SET or NET they don't ask the deeper questions. They don't go into the direct steps. They only ask what is the definition, or they ask what are the end products and the raw materials or the main compounds which are present in the metabolical pathway. So don't go in a deep way. Generally learn the input and also output. That means the end products. The glycolysis metabolical pathway, the glucose is converted into the 2 pyruvates and 2 ATP. Glyconeogenesis, lactate or amino acids are converted into the glucose. Glycogenesis, the glucose is converted into the glycogen. Glycogenolysis, lysis means breakdown. The glycogen is breakdown into the glucose. And Krebs cycle, acetyl CoA is giving the CO2 and electron carriers. The pentose pathway, here in this the glucose 6 phosphate is converted into the NADPH and ribose. Let us discuss what is the definition of each metabolical pathway, the end products and the site where the metabolical pathway occurs. First one is glycolysis. Here the glycolysis is the process in which the glucose is broken down into the pyruvate. Lysis meaning broken down or breaking it down. It occurs in the cell cytoplasm. One molecule of glucose gives the 2 pyruvates and 2 ATP and 2 NADH. Next, gluconeogenesis. That means the glucose is formed from the non-carbohydrate sources. That means no sugar sources are involved in the production of glucose. We have the amino acids, the lactate, the glycerol or glucogenic compounds are converted into the glucose. That means these are not carbohydrate sources. These are not the carbohydrate sources, but they are converted into the glucose. This process is called as gluconeogenesis. It occurs in the mitochondria and cytoplasm. And this is the step by step process of glycolysis. If you want, you can go through it, but I am sure that this step by step process they will not ask. Okay, if they ask, only one question will be asked from the CPGET. Next, glycogenesis. Glycogenesis is the process in which the glucose is converted into the glycogen. Okay, that means the glucose is converted into the glycogen. The glucose and UTP molecules are used to produce the glycogen. The liver and skeletal muscles. Here at the site of these areas, the glucose is converted into the glycogen. Glycogen is a storage form of carbohydrate. Next, glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis is the process of breakdown of the glycogen into the glucose. Okay, the glycogen is broken down into the glucose 1-phosphate. This is called as glycogenolysis. Means glycogen is lysed, means the glycogen is broken down. It occurs in the liver, in the skeletal muscles of the cytoplasm. Okay, the glucose is converted into the main raw material. Okay, acid cycle, this occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. Okay, this is the type of metabolism in which acetyl CoA is converted into the CO2 and some of the energy units are produced. Here you can see acetyl CoA, the acetyl CoA, and also some of the NADP and FAD molecules are converted into the CO2, 3 NADH, 1 FADH, 1 ATP molecule is produced in the end. Okay. Next, pentose phosphate pathway. In this pathway, the cytoplasm is the main area where we see the pentose phosphate pathway. So here what happens? Glucose 6-phosphate and NADP are broken down or metabolized to form the NADPH ribose 5-phosphate, okay, for the production of DNA and RNA. If you like the content, please subscribe. This content is really helpful for your CPGET entrance exam and UGC NET exam, set exam. So here I have given the detailed notes. Please support me and my channel. If you have any doubts, please comment down below. Please like the video and share this video to your friends.